Hello. I want to share some practical steps to leverage your experience. For those of you I haven't met yet, I'm Dr. Geneva, bringing over 4 decades of experience in nonprofit leadership and fundraising, and 7 years as a successful entrepreneur. So, for a moment, I want you to imagine being the head of an organization for, let's say, 15 years. You've led, you've strategized, you've overseen countless successes. Yet, when you consider a new career direction, you see yourself merely as someone who ran an organization. Or imagine this: leading a department for years, running teams, handling budgets, and high stakes projects. Yet, when it comes time for a change, you see yourself as someone who managed tasks. Or picture this: that you're running a successful small business for decades, for years, juggling clients, you're talking to suppliers, you're making pitches to investors. But when you think about your next steps, you might not realize the incredible range of skills you develop. Bottom line is, you may be unsure about how your past experiences translate into future opportunities, questioning if your skill sets and what you've gained is still relevant. I want you to know that this is a common scenario. Many of the women leaders that I work with find themselves kind of unsure about whether or not their experiences are relevant or matter in their next move. And so it's so important for us to realize the depth of our own experience. So today, I want to share how to capitalize on your experiences so that you can recognize their value and how you can position your experiences to open doors to new opportunities. So, first, what is experience? Because people throw that word around, and really the secret to capitalizing, leveraging your experience better is understanding what the word means. So, experience is the sum total of your knowledge, your skills, your insights, your wisdom that you've gained by doing and living through different situations and scenarios over time. And it's unique to you, your experience, because you are yourself, your own individual. So we're talking not only about what you've gained by doing and living life through time, but also what you've gained is incredibly unique to you. And you've gained this practical understanding that comes through going through life, just living life. You can think about experience, or the life experiences that we have, like pieces of a giant jigsaw puzzle. Each experience that you have, whether big or small, is a unique puzzle piece. And for those of you who are considering a career shift, starting a new business, or perhaps just pursuing some long held passions, the puzzle piece that deals with careers really means that you should take the step those next steps to and get the courage to reinvent yourself if you need to professionally. Okay. So it's about recognizing all of these various puzzle pieces that are there and how each one of them is unique. And you, in fact, can fit those pieces together to reinvent yourself, to take that leap for that new career or starting that business that you've always dreamed about. So here are the things. So now that we have an idea, you know, now that we understand what experience means in terms of a definition, let's talk about how we can leverage your experience. So the first is you can leverage your knowledge. Mhm. That's something your, and let me say, not the knowledge that you have today, but the knowledge you've gained through the years. You've acquired a vast amount of information about things, and you've done things, and you've applied um, the things that you've learned to various challenges and situations, and you can do that right now. So that this helps so much in making informed decisions based upon what you've learned. Okay. Another thing you can leverage is your skills. And that means to use the abilities that you've sharpened, that you've honed, that you've gained through time in new ventures, a new career, or starting a new business. And this might mean taking a skill that you already possess and that you've used and maybe sharpening it, making it better. So that's skill. So far, in terms of your experience, you can leverage the information, knowledge you've gained, the skills that you have, insight. You can leverage your insights. Now, what's that mean? Okay, that through the years, you've developed an understanding of people and places and processes, and wherever you're working, whatever industry you've been in, you know it. You've developed a deeper understanding, and that's called insights, so that you have the ability to anticipate things that can happen. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you've been there, done that, and you've experienced things that then you pretty much know what's going to happen next. Or if there's certain situations, you can figure out how people might react. I remember I've made several transitions into heading up different organizations. And the first time that I stepped into a significant leadership role, I noticed that relationships changed. The peers that I worked with, the colleagues, the stakeholders I was involved with, there was a change, sometimes major, sometimes small, some very nuanced, but there was a change in people's reaction and behavior with me in the relationship. And that's what happens because circumstances change and relationships change. And so, as I moved into various more significant leadership roles and began to head organizations, one of the things that I had gained insight on through my experience, my understanding, and been there, done that before, was that there would probably likely be shifts in how people viewed me, how they interacted with me, and in our relationship. That comes from the insights that you've gained through the years. So you can probably stop right now and think about those deeper understandings that you've gained. And having these insights can help you adapt to change. Because if you know it's coming, because you've been there, done that before, then it would be smart, would it not, to position yourself so that you can pretty much you figure out what's going to come next. And that's valuable. That's part of your experience. That's very valuable. Those insights that you bring to the table, to a meeting, to a business, to an organization. Okay. What else you can leverage when we talk about your experience are your contacts. Now, you've been around. You got a solid list of people you know. Now, you may be going into a new field or a new industry where you want to change or expand or grow your contacts. You have to develop contacts for a new career move you're making. But right here, right now, if you've been a professional, a high achiever for a number of years, you got a list of people you know, contacts, relationships, and you can leverage that uh, in whatever career moves you might want to make. So, again, that's another thing you can leverage. And then finally, leveraging your wisdom. Okay. So, bottom line is if you've been around for a while, you've been around the block. And so you smart, you got some judgment that's been refined over time and challenges and circumstances. And you can use this, what I call seasoned perspective, to navigate complex situations that arise very confidently because you've gained the judgment over time. You've got the wisdom. And this, again, is another piece. So I hope you have an idea, a sense now of the experience that you have. If you break it down in the parts that I've done, knowledge, skills, insights, your contacts, wisdom, and you sit back and think about those, it's incredible. You've got a gold mine going on, and you can leverage this experience that you have to take whatever next steps that you want to in your career or your life. But I want to leave you with a real simple to do how you can do this, besides just sitting back and reflecting on these aspects of experience and fitting in and making sure you can identify uh, what you have. I'm just trying to say hello to those of us who are on the live and joining. Hello. Um, I want to leave you with a tool. This is a tool that I developed and I use with the leaders that I work with. It's called TSA, my TSA tool. And TSA stands for talents, skills, and accomplishments. And um, so when we think about now, first let's make sure that we understand when we're talking about so talents are those natural aptitudes or innate abilities, those gifts. Like if you got a voice and you can sing, that's a gift. That's something I've always wanted to be able to do. When I come back in my next life, it's going to be as a singer. I can't carry a tune now. But anyway, but there are many of you We all have a gift. So those are our talents. Okay. So the T in TSA, talents. The S in TSA stands for the skills. And those are learned abilities, those things that over time we practice and through training, experience, we hone those skills and they're developed over time. For example, public speaking might be a skill that you've developed over time, or managing projects, project management, perhaps through your the work that you do, you've become very skilled in managing projects. And then accomplishments, of course, the A in TSA are those tangible achievements, those successes, those results from really applying your talents and skills. Okay. So the tool that I use is with the women in particular that I work with, and I work with men and women leaders, um, is called the TSA tool. And so what you do is, here's how you use it. Once you take a piece of paper and on the top of it, write talents. Okay? Talents. Just write it down. And then you think about your talents and you list them. Okay? Now, you may fill up the page, you may only have a couple. My guess is, particularly when you sit and think about it, which is what we want to do, we want to be very intentional, because as we design our life, as we want to go after things in our life, as we want to go to the next level, as we want to be better, one of the secrets is being very intentional about that. Then you're going to take another piece of paper and you're going to write on the top of it skills. Okay? And then you're going to list your skills. Okay? And then on taking a third piece of paper, you're going to put down for the A, TSA, accomplishments. Yeah, I got a big pen, so I wrote, you write it better up there. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. Listen, I'm just here to give you this tool and what I want you to do. Accomplishments. And you're going to identify. And what I tell my leaders is to just think of this past year. So 2024, what did you accomplish this year? Okay. If it's tough thinking about the successes or the results that you've gained, just think about this year. Some of you will go back, 2 years, or in the past 3 years. You can set a certain time. But the point is, as you identify them, you're going to discover so much. Now, what do you have with these 3 pieces of paper? You have your experience. You've identified in very specific ways these 3 pieces of paper. Okay? Your experience. Yay! This is your experience. And this is what you leverage. So if you're thinking about that next career, you're looking at, you've always had a long held passion about something, you're looking for that promotion, you want to start that business, whatever it is, and you want to sell yourself, you want to market yourself, you want to position yourself for your next, capitalize, leverage your experience. I hope this has been helpful for you and that you use the techniques and the information that I've shared, wishing you the very best in absolutely everything that you want to do. I'll see you soon.